Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann, and with me today is
Nurse Ashley.
Nurse Ashley. You're back awfully soon.
I am.
The reason for that is I thought I would do another one of these serious topics where I could get like a female perspective, because today I thought we would talk about the stigma of male victimization in sex crimes, in violent crimes, in domestic assault. It always seems like guys aren't encouraged to speak up when they're the victim. You know, they don't ask to be beat up or blindsided by some sort of blunt object. I'm sure somewhere in America tonight there'll be a party somewhere and some desperate girl will wait for a good-looking guy to pass out. She'll follow him into a bedroom and hop on top of him and take a ride.
It's kind of hard to do that. There's like logistics to that. Like erections are needed.
Well, sleep boners, they are a thing.
Yeah, but not generally like right after you pass out.
You never know. Maybe she's... really, computer? You got to fucking chime in while I'm talking? Yeah, but she might just go and just be a fluffer.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe she gets him going while he's still awake, and then he passes out, and she's like, well, I'm still going to do it. You never think of that when you think about rape, do you, really?
No, because it's really hard to get somebody to keep an erection when they're passed out.
How do you know?
Giggity.
Like you haven't been super drunk when... Well, you haven't.
I've never been drunk, so no.
Never mind. Some people get really drunk and make bad choices and decide to sleep with people, and they're just too drunk. And
Don't sell yourself short.
Well, I made a lot of bad decisions when I was younger.
Giggity.
Yeah, it happens.
Ruined my day.
I did not jump on any passed out person's erection, though.
Well, that's good. It's always bad when you had to wake up the next morning and play a guessing game of who was in my mouth.
That would suck.
I hate when that happens.
I know.
So I was thinking about this when I was at work the other day walking around. For some reason, sexual assault was in my head and just victimization in general. Now, as I've spoke about on the show, I have been the victim of domestic assault. Multiple. I've only reported one to the authorities. Technically. One I caved on pressing charges years ago, and that would have been felony level. So the beast would have gone for sure to jail.
Right. But
because our oldest was only 3 months old at the time, I kind of was like, what am I going to do with a 3-month-old by myself?
That's a tough decision.
You know, if I would have known all the struggles I would have had to sit there and go through for the next 4 years after, I would have been like, bye, bitch.
Bye, beast.
Yes. Get out of my apartment, beast. Let go of my balls, beast. What We Do in the Shadows. It's the movie that inspired me to start calling my beast
The Beast.
also.
The Beast.
Let me run it through when she got arrested for the most recent one for tuning me up. And it wasn't major. She got in my face. And after spending 45 minutes trying to help her annoyingly drunken ass find her car keys so she could go home to care for our children, I was going to find the keys, drive her to her house. Bye.
You were going to leave her drunk off her ass with your kids.
She's a functioning alcoholic, and she'd only had 3 shots of Rumplemans.
Ugh.
I could hear it in her voice, but she wasn't, like, scary drunk.
Okay.
And I figured she would call her mom, which I later came to find out after she had kicked me and my car multiple times. Allegedly. Bitch. Her mom was at the casino, like she seems to be quite frequently, because her mother has a gambling addiction.
So there's a lot of addiction in that family.
Yeah, her brother has been on and off meth for years, and she, years ago, had a little issue with methamphetamine. Booze. Mostly booze.
Congratulations on picking winners.
Did you hear it?
No.
Did you hear Buddy throwing up?
I did not hear Buddy throwing up.
He can't interrupt the show if he's in the next room throwing up, but I could hear him through the vents, gagging.
That's really disgusting.
You know what happens after Buddy throws up?
Yeah, Boomer eats it.
Boomer eats it.
It's disgusting.
It's called the Buddy system. Not because his name's Buddy, but because they're...
It makes me vomit in my mouth a little.
A little?
A little bit. I could go join him.
Well, Why, you just have to randomly vomit up cat food that you didn't chew all the
Not
way
cat
through
food.
also?
No. I had, I don't know, some kind of healthy choice steamer meal.
That sounds terrible.
It actually wasn't. It was pretty good.
I'm going to take your word for it.
For real. It had meatballs or something that was kind of like meatballs. They were good.
The Beast
Was cussing out the cop that arrested her.
Well, she's dumb.
And then she tried to kick out a window on the squad, which is why she didn't skate on the disorderly conduct charge.
So she was making her case for herself.
Yes, as she always seems to do. And this was 1 week removed from me going to her house, and she was all kinds of cunt when I got to the door, demanding I give her the children. I'm like, you're drunk. Let's take a few minutes to talk. She's like, no, give me my fucking kids. Yanked on my door handles, kicked my car. I called the cops. They made an appearance. She was standing on the front step cussing at a cop, saying, I don't know what he's fucking tell you, but go get a fucking warrant if you want to search this fucking place. She was politely told to go back in the house.
That's it?
The first 2 times. And then he said,
Lord.
get back in the house now or I'm going to arrest you for disorderly conduct. So she skinned the cat like 8 days prior. So back to Valentine's Day when the assault happened, and she's in the jail. And,
Did she end up at the jail you work at?
no.
Oh, that would have made for a way better story.
Right. So she's at the jail, and they take her in, and they're bringing her up to the living unit. And she told me that something where the lady cop that was escorting her to the living unit asked her about what happened. She's like, domestic assault, and he called the cops on me, the pussy. And apparently the lady cop said, you said it, not me. Which, to the
That's
beast,
bullshit.
to
The
the
Beast
meant that I'm apparently a pussy for calling the cops. In a society where women get the benefit of the doubt because 90% of the violence, it seems, is male on female, not the other way around. It's disproportionate from female to male violence, only because I feel it's underreported. Women know that they can get away with it because the courts side with them. The police automatically think men are the aggressors, so they will push a guy's buttons till he's to the brink of either kicking their ass or killing them.
I think part of it actually is just that men underreport it, not because the woman will be believed, but because they feel emasculated from it. Like it shouldn't happen to them, or they shouldn't, because they might be considered a pussy.
Right. And that's why this episode's about destigmatizing male victimization. Because
Right.
I've been a victim, and I don't think it makes you a pussy, because in my instance, I'm thinking, gotcha, bitch!
Right.
I'm like, she skated 5 years ago on this, and now it's my turn to get her back for it, thankfully. And unfortunately, the legal system failed me again. Cunts. And she got the charge dismissed.
Oh, isn't that special?
And then the whole time, I'm sure she and Loverboy, that's what I call him, were yucking it up about me. And that guy is seriously lucky that he is not wound up in a dumpster somewhere in pieces. Not because he necessarily has it coming, but because I'm not going to do anything to her. But he created this mess.
You're putting this
Partially.
shit on recording right now.
That's okay. I can edit it. It's
So
not
if
live.
something happens to him,
If he ends up dead in a dumpster in pieces, they're going to go, hey,
Hey,
you said you
it was probably
thought about
him.
doing that. I'm like, right, but what's my alibi? Where was I? Probably at work or with my kids. So,
or you brought your kids with. God, that's mean.
what a field trip.
Yeah.
Time to
All
see
right,
what
kids
daddy's
on the
capable
left.
of. Don't want to eat your vegetables? Pay attention. Loverboy's about to lose a finger or two.
At least it's only a finger.
Well, and maybe it's the finger that he sticks up her ass.
But would you really want to hurt her that much?
Yeah, right.
If there's a finger up her ass, it's likely not your foot too. So there's some positive there.
I guess. So I kind of feel like he has it coming still from when I found out that. I'd like to point out, and this is, I put this on my dead sister's grave, what
The Beast
told me. She went to go hang out with him. They went drinking. And this is Memorial Day itself, 2013. They go from drinking to back to the couch that he crashes on at some friend's house or apartment.
Classy.
She passes out and wakes up in nothing but her underwear. She asks him what happened. He's like, what do you mean? We had sex. She's like, what? He's like, well, it was your idea. Sounds kind of rapey, right?
Eh.
I would think most law enforcement officials would think, okay, so yeah, she drank and she came home with you, but if she woke up from blacking out and said that she didn't remember initiating sex, but for all I know, it's just another line of bullshit she fed me after the fact to try to get me to calm down about it.
Well,
Put
let's
some
be
of the onus
completely
on him.
honest. Had she truly not initiated it, and had she truly been raped, would she be with him?
Who knows? She's got all kinds of fucking issues.
Well, I guess.
She loves him even though they've broken up like 20 times.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
They can keep their love.
I guess.
So, back to male victimization. How often do you think it happens?
I'd say if we're going to go out of 10 assaults, I'd say 1 or 2 are against men.
I'd say that's probably fair. Although, I know a lot of women that get hitty.
Right. They drink and they start getting belligerent and violent.
Exactly. It's usually when they've been drinking. And it's not a pretty sight. And I've seen some women hit pretty hard, too. It's not just here's a little slap on the side of the head type of thing. I've seen them wind up and hit people with a closed fist.
Oh, one time, I tried to stop her from leaving the house. She came home, boozed up, and just got done toking up in the driveway. And then because we started fighting about her drinking and driving, she was immediately going to leave and go back to the bar to hang out with the girls to punish me.
That makes sense.
For being too much like a father. And
does she have a father?
Yeah, he's dead.
It kind of makes sense, I guess.
And her mom used to like shield him from the truth a lot about the kids because she was afraid that he would disown her.
Huh?
The beast's
mom.
Yes.
Who I refer to as the doormat.
Okay.
The beast.
Dad didn't know a lot about what happened all the time.
By the hand of the mom, or
the doormat would hide the truth. The doormat's been sweeping up after these 2 little shit sticks for years.
Okay.
Hide it from the dad because she was afraid that the dad would disown her. Like, he probably didn't know that
the beast
had an abortion at 17.
Yeah.
By some 22-year-old convict guy.
Cute.
Right.
So she really picks winners, too.
Yeah, and he probably never knew about her hard drug use. That was kind of the fault of her brother and one of his and her friends.
It's nobody's fault but their own.
Kind of.
No.
Kind of. Well, nobody held a gun to her head, I'm sure, and said, hey, try meth.
I don't know why anybody would actually try meth. Let's be completely honest here. You know, I mean, if you've seen any TV at all or read anything on the internet, you know some of the things that are in meth, and you see what it does to people.
Like firsthand at work, I see what it does to people.
Like, logically, I mean, if you have any brain cells in your head, what would make you go, I think I want to try that?
Well, I had an inmate one time say that he was curious about what the high was like because he was like an oxy addict. He would crush up oxy and smoke it.
You dumbass.
So he thought he'd try shooting up meth. He's like, I won't get addicted. First time, addicted. Started shooting meth regularly. Now, I'm not saying this guy's like a fucking future leader of the world by any measure.
Right.
But these are the types of lives that these people lead. You get started, and I have a personal friend who once told me, I kind of want to try meth to see what it's like. I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? I'm like, will you promise me you won't try meth? He's like, okay. Which obviously was a hollow promise. He can do whatever he wants. He doesn't owe me shit. We're not like brothers.
Right.
But still, it's like, dude, you're my friend, and I love you, and I care about you, and I don't want to see you go down that road because I've seen so many lives get ruined already.
Yeah. It's tough stuff. For sure.
And that was years ago when I was relatively new to doing this. And I had already seen like dozens and dozens of people that were all kinds of fucked up and their families destroyed and their kids taken away and shit. It's awful.
Yeah, well, this is the area for that.
It is.
It's a very prominent drug in this area.
Yeah. So out of the 10, I said 1 or 2 are probably females assaulting males. 0 or 1 go reported. Even if it's as many as 3 or 4 out of 10, 0 or 1 get reported.
Well, let's just say it's 10 to 20 out of 100.
Still,
you're getting like
2
to 3 that are probably reported.
And I kind of think about this like, why are guys so quick to be like, oh, the fucking old lady beat you up. What happened? Why didn't you put her in her place? Well, you know why I didn't put her in her place, you facetious bastard. Because if I hit her, I go to, like, prison. If she hits me, the cop's like, pussy. But how many cops do you know that have super aggressive type A personalities and violent tendencies?
I've dated a couple.
Yeah. So, I mean, virtually the scum of the positive side of society is law enforcement, because you have to be all kinds of crazy to want to do that. It starts off with a little bit of nobility and then devolves into sheer fucking psychosis, I think. Once you really get into it, you get tested, you get vetted. You see how fucked up it is, and it starts to eat away at your psyche. So, I mean, it's bad enough that your friends are ragging on you, and you know that the cops are your first line of defense to save you from it, and they're fucking giving you shit.
Yeah.
And then you got to go, if you go through with calling the cops, then you got to have an attorney, which usually it's just the prosecutor talks to you. And I got to tell you, that guy didn't give me the fucking time of day. And
Probably thought you were a pussy.
I don't know who the hell. Well, I wasn't very nice to him the first time I talked to him, but it's like he talked to me like I was a fucking child. I'm like, I just want to let you know that I work in a jail. I'm familiar with the criminal justice system, sir. I've been in it for 8 years. I've seen this before, so I kind of know how this works. You don't need to tell me all the little intricacies of the steps. And he told me to show up for a court date, and then her lawyer subpoenaed me, and I sat at the courthouse all fucking day. And they never even called me, and he's like, well, you could probably go home, and if I need you, I'll call you. Motherfucker didn't even call me to say, hey, I don't need you.
Are you fucking kidding me?
This guy is one of the major partners of the same law firm that I hired for my custody suit.
Her lawyer or yours?
The prosecutor.
Okay.
He doubles as practicing family law and as a prosecutor for a county. And I'm just like, what the fuck is with this guy? What if she had stabbed me? Would he be so laissez-faire?
No.
I don't know.
If she had stabbed you.
What if she just like nicks me in the ass cheek? What if she stabs me in the butt? Butt cut. I'm going to cut your butt. It's this game that I play with the girls now because in an old CKY video, they were sitting in the back of a van and Bam Margera and some guy are talking about movie sequels. Like, what if, like, nobody names a movie like Driving Miss Daisy 1?
Right.
So they started talking about some fake horror movie called Butt Cut. So I have this little plastic toy knife that comes with their kitchen set. And then sometimes they'll grab it and go, uh-oh, you better not cut my butt. And I'll go, butt cut. And I'll grab the knife and chase them around and catch them and just put it by their butt and go, cut, 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 cut. I'm cutting your butt. Oh, your butt's getting cut so bad. Butt cut.
We're an unusual family.
There's something not right with you.
It's funny. So, yeah, if she stabbed me in the ass cheek or say she stabbed me inside here and it was all just meat and got no organs. Still stabbed me.
You do still have organs over there.
I don't know. She just kind of grazed me.
Well, I think stabbing's a little different than a kick to your car and your leg.
Right. But I got to tell you, every time I talk to the cops, I almost get this aura like, fucking deal with it. Well, if you can't help me and I'm supposed to rely on you, but in the back of your mind, well, it's a civil matter and technically you're lucky we're even talking to you. That is a quote from a patrol sergeant of my local PD.
Oh, no.
It's a civil matter. You're lucky I'm even talking to you about it.
No, this is assault. This is a criminal matter.
Well, no, this is a different matter with me and her worried about the kids. If you have a happy family home, you'll never probably come to know these facts. But you should be aware that Child Protective Services will not do shit, actively pursue anything unless someone is injured or dead. They'll, air quotes here, write a report or open a file. They don't have the resources. They don't fucking care.
Mm-hmm. And even sometimes when somebody is hurt, it still takes them a while.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I deal with adult protection quite a bit in my line of work, being that I work with the elderly. And even sometimes that takes forever. And then they'll say it's inconclusive at the end.
Isn't that bullshit that these people are government servants that get paid with our tax dollars and, well, we just don't have the resources to deal with this.
Right. But you can take an hour-long lunch.
Yeah, so do you have the resources to pull your bottom lip over the back of your fucking head and swallow? You worthless cunts.
It's frustrating.
So, I mean, I don't know how many times I've talked to cops about my concern over her anger issues.
The beast.
I mean. Just recently, she got mad at the 3-year-old in the van while on the phone with me and said, I swear to God, if you don't knock it off, I'm going to throw you out the damn window.
Whoa.
I get that she's not going to do it. She knows she's just fucking blowing smoke. But she's got a fiery temper, and she's not drinking, not smoking weed, off of her psych meds, pregnant, and trying to quit smoking.
Oh, good Lord.
Remember that
Those
George
poor
Clooney
kids.
movie, The Perfect Storm?
I never saw it.
Okay, how about Twister?
Yep.
Okay, so the big Twister, the F5 that sucked up Dorothy and a couple of cows.
Yeah.
That's her. That's the beast right now.
Real good.
Yeah. So she said that, and I'm like, glad to see that anger management seminar you were forced to go to is paying off.
Oh, no.
So I got concerned, and I waited a day, and the next day she was up my ass. Up my ass like no other. We're fighting about what to do with the oldest kindergarten situation. She's not getting her lease renewed, most likely by her landlord, mainly because of the few times the cops have been out to her house.
Oh, I can't imagine why they wouldn't like that.
Right. Well, one of those times was me, and I think that was the one that really fucking pissed him off. It's because she was screaming for the neighbors to hear.
Eek.
So, she's like, well, she's already signed up at the one school, but she's not going there because I'm moving. Her brilliant realtor that she's working with, that deals exclusively with single moms who have bad credit or little credit and almost no down payment, says, you have to move in October, start looking for a house in August. Which means she's not going to know what area she's going to live in until August, probably the end of August, almost like the first week of September. When does school start?
Yep, right after Labor Day.
And she thinks because she talked to somebody at the school district who said, well, they can't not let her go to school.
What the hell?
So I called her former school, and they said, well, we're full up for kindergarten. There's a waiting list. But you're going to find it's that way at a lot of schools right now. So people that are moving right before a school year, you know, it can be tough to get in that first week or month. So because someone at the school district, one person said one thing to her, she's got it in her head, they can't not let her go to kindergarten. Well, yeah, they kind of can. They can say, we don't have a spot for you. Sounds shitty. You would think it wouldn't happen. Totally fucking happens. Limited resources, people. Use your common sense.
The beast.
No common sense. As I've mentioned before, she's like, I'm not book smart. I'm life smart.
Yes.
I love that. I'm life smart.
The beast.
So we're fighting about that. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck her. Fuck her for me sitting on this shit from yesterday. It's still bugging me. Because God knows what the 3-year-old thinks. She's already acting out constantly.
She's probably terrified.
Could be. I don't know.
Can
Or
you
she just
imagine how
thinks it's
scary
stupid.
that would be? Somebody that's, 2 to 3 times your size is telling you that they're basically going to hurt you?
Well, they were on their way to Texas Roadhouse for the Doormat's birthday dinner. Grandma Doormat's birthday dinner, and she's mad and she's going to throw her out the van window while they're driving. But because I'm sure they're used to seeing
The beast.
yell, and my oldest has said, Mommy yells all the time. Didn't ask her. She just said it one day when I was driving her to school. Randomly. And I'm like, you poked my heart.
Oh, sad.
And so they're used to it. Isn't that fucked up?
That is really, really sad.
So I feel like you're saying she's probably terrified. I'm saying she's probably like, you're not going to do that. I'm going to throw you out the window. That's kind of how she takes it.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Right. And so I called the cops. And then I called probation. And then I called CPS, who listened to me. And I'm like, I know you're not going to do anything per se, but I just want you to know that we have an escalating pattern of anger with her. And she's off her psych meds. She's not drinking. She's not smoking. And
that
she's
you
pregnant.
know of.
No, she's wearing the patch. If she smokes, she smokes. She smoked for most of the pregnancy with the second one because her dad was dying. And she was really stressed out.
It happens.
And she likes to say, you already stressed me out for 2 pregnancies. You're not going to stress me out for a third. I don't think it's that I'm stressing you out. I think that you're emotionally maladjusted.
It's probably a good call.
And a dumb bitch.
Yeah, I'm not arguing.
Now, I know that sounds chauvinistic, that all women are special, and no feminist would ever want to hear that some woman is misrepresenting all women and that she's being called a bitch, because, heaven forbid, social justice warriors scissoring in joy at some fucking sit-in about burning their bras and Indian hair tampon. I don't know. I don't know what they do with those
Indian
things.
hair tampons?
Yeah, roll your own.
That's like a thing?
I guess.
Okay.
Random
You think
circle.
that would be itchy?
Well, I don't know. I don't have a vagina.
Well, imagine hunk of hair in your penis.
Like going down my urethra?
Yeah. Because similar, I guess.
You have no idea how much this is relating to the episode I just recorded prior to this. Circling all the way back to the beginning with this, sexual assault.
Yes.
You're saying that the logistics of trying to get a passed out man erect, or maybe a guy's kind of high.
That would probably work a little better.
Here's how I know this can happen. Because it happened when I was in high school. Some guy I was friends with, some chick that was like a freshman when we were juniors. She was at a party because she knew some people there.
Sure.
She basically climbed on top of him.
And he was telling her no?
He was passing in and out of consciousness, not thinking it was really happening.
Wow.
So then he comes
and
back.
Nobody else stopped her?
Who fucking knows? When you're that age, you don't expect to see a girl take advantage of a guy. You're probably thinking, all right, he's getting laid.
Yeah, that's still wrong.
So, like, he comes back from a weekend, and I only heard part of the story, because we're walking down the hallway. He's like, oh, there's the rapist. I'm like, what? I did like a triple take. And yeah, he told his story. I'm like, dude, that is not cool.
No, it's not.
Fast forward years later to when I worked at Menards, and there was this fat chick who really liked to party. God, she was so annoying. She's one of the first people I ever told to their face what an annoying cunt she was.
Like, she worked there with you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So they were doing a remodel of our store. Mm-hmm. So they brought dudes in from stores outside of the region to help. And they put them at a hotel like a couple miles up the highway from the store. And she befriended them. And I think they were trying to get with this one cashier. Well, she was the tag-along because they were best friends. She apparently was drinking with this guy, and he passed out. And he doesn't remember what happened, but he woke up to her just sitting there rubbing his balls. Like, he was naked, and she was rubbing his balls. And also naked.
Ew, ew.
That's disturbing.
All signs point to rapey stuff going on.
Right.
And she was no stranger to cock. Trust me, she had quite the reputation for her dick-taking skills.
Oh, wow. Good for her.
You hear about this shit and someone's like, yeah, right. It fucking happens.
When it's consensual and you're a whore, that's fine.
Right.
I'm not going to slut shame. You have at it. Do what you got to do. However, if you're taking advantage of somebody while they're sleeping, that's fucked up. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. It's not okay. Under any circumstance.
This is true.
But you know how I feel about rape.
I know how you feel about rape. Very strongly against it.
Very
not
strongly.
that I'm saying that I'm less strongly against rape, but you don't even like to joke about hypothetical rape.
Exactly.
And I do, just sometimes.
Because you're an asshole.
Well, if you paint like a really fucked up, weird picture with a lot of odd intricacies to the situation, it becomes so absurd that you have to. So even if like a cartoon character is raping
fucked up.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Really.
Wilma Flintstone?
No.
Taping Fred to a chair?
Fred probably asked for it, though.
I don't know.
Let's be completely honest.
Wilma was kind of a self-important bitch.
That was my exasperated side because you're just a dumbass.
So when you think about guys being the victim of sexual assault, who do you normally think of as the perpetrator?
Other men.
Other men. And where does it normally happen?
Church.
Okay, I'll give you. I didn't think of that.
Boy Scouts.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Giggity. They're building men. They're making men out of boys. By putting men into boys.
Wow.
And
that's fucked up.
And in our nation, what's the biggest place where you're bound to get raped if you're a guy?
Neverland.
What? No. I'm not talking about Peter Pan or Michael Jackson. I'm talking about prison.
Oh, that place.
Yeah, that place. The place that people joke about. It's so funny. You're going to drop the soap in the shower. Like if somebody just goes to jail for the weekend waiting for a court date on a DUI. Oh, did you drop the soap? It's the stupidest cliched fucking joke you can make about somebody getting locked up. And it's all fun and games to you, but let's just say that somebody who's not initiated in that life gets thrust into it and they don't have the money for bail, so they're sitting in a local lockup waiting for trial for like up to 30 to 60 days because the process is not quick. Yeah, sometimes 90 days.
I've never been to jail.
Justice is not swift.
I've never even seen a jail.
It's like an old Asian lady driving. It just putts along at its own pace in the fast lane, 20 miles under the speed limit with a blinker on, nowhere near a turn lane.
Or like my grandpa.
Why does he also do that?
Well, he did when he was alive.
Oh,
I don't think he does it anymore.
Probably not. Do they have blinkers on coffins?
They should.
That'd be awesome.
Because you're like
it.
tossing it in. You just flip one on.
Right. The 4-way flashers are going to go for the first 6 months. After that, it's a crapshoot whether the solar panel above ground keeps the battery going. So somebody who's not used to it is suddenly in a correctional facility setting, and you're less likely to be sexually assaulted in a local county lockup than you are in actual prison. Like, most prisons are state facilities. If you make it to the federal level, they usually call that federal pound-me-in-the-ass prison.
Is that really what they call it?
Well, it's the first time I heard that phrase is watching the movie Office Space when they're talking about white-collar crime.
Wow.
And yes, it was a comedy, and it was make-believe. This shit happens a lot. Did you ever watch the show Oz?
No.
For me, it was like unwatchable. It was all fucking gang warfare and rape.
That doesn't sound interesting.
It was 6 or 7 seasons of various D's going in B's in colorful ways.
Wow.
Right. Apparently some HBO thought that was very entertaining.
All right.
And I hear about this shit because I am a correctional officer. I don't work in a prison. I've said that. We can rule out that I don't work in a prison. I'm not one of those type of COs.
I once applied at a prison.
Yeah, it's not.
For a nursing position. And when I went for my interview, I felt like a slab of meat.
Yeah.
The second I walked in, it was like eyes completely following me everywhere I went. It didn't matter where I was. And it was really uncomfortable.
You want to talk about running a gauntlet of sexual harassment? Yeah. A female, usually the nursing at a prison. Holy Christ. I don't know how they make it through the day without just constantly blowing into a rape whistle. Just keeping it in the corner of their mouth the way like some people keep a stogie there.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. I went back for my second interview and my tour. So I actually went into like Gen Pop with everybody and into the... I got to see like the lunchroom and things like that, and it was horrendous. Cat calls like you wouldn't believe, and I just felt dirty. I felt like I needed to shower after that. And that's when I decided that I could never work in a prison.
It's not fun. It takes a special breed. I get sexually harassed by the females from time to time.
I believe it.
Not like too intensely, but there's like quasi sexually charged comments.
That doesn't surprise me. Women are dirty.
And I walk around the corner sometimes into conversations and I hear my name and I'm like, just going to stand outside the room for a second and see where this goes. The answer to that is to not get offended and say, you shouldn't talk about me like that. It's unprofessional. You're going to get a violation. You're going to get a write-up. That's fucking stupid. If you want to disarm somebody who thinks they're funny, say something completely out of left field. Like I walked into a room once and there were 5 of them, and the most vocal of the 5 is like, we just all decided that you're hot. I'm like, okay, and?
And then you got this look.
She's like, well, we think you're hot. I'm like, cool. And then I left. What I wanted to say is, well, you know, coming from 4 out of 5 of you, that doesn't really make me think anything.
4 out of 5.
And then I leave, and I left to wonder
who's the one.
And I didn't mean it, but if I would have said that, they would have been like, who is he? Which one of us?
Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha.
Fuck with their head. I love that. I've said, you can't afford me.
Nice.
Anytime some guy might make an inappropriate joke, I'll be like, I'm too pretty for you. I like to say that one.
I don't know if pretty's the word I would use.
It sounds funny.
What are
they
you
don't
drinking?
Expect that. This is grape flavored water.
Your straw is like red.
Yeah, I've been using it a lot.
That's disgusting.
Why would I come up with a new straw every day?
Why not?
Because I'm building up tolerances.
Yeah.
Bacterias.
Your immunity is really good.
It's so good.
Gross.
I'm gonna get immune. I'm gonna get immune so hard. Yeah.
Is this talking nurse to me?
No, yeah. Oh, God, look at my tolerance. Yeah.
So disturbing.
Look at my rippling antibodies.
I would like to see your rippling antibodies.
So, these guys, I had this guy one time, I came around the corner, working a night shift. He's like, hey, you want to cuddle? He was just, fucking with me. But I just looked at him, I'm like, dude, I am too much man for you. And I left the room.
I would have said, can I be the big spoon?
Well, nah. He's too wiry. He was a meth head. But he don't expect it. And then the added shoulder rub for me is that I just emasculated him in front of his friends when he thought he was going to be funny. I don't care who anybody is that comes to the doors of where I work. You're not a quicker wit than me. And you can't say fucked up shit like I can with a straight face. You're not funnier than me. You won't out-quote me. I'm not trying to sound arrogant.
But you do.
You're not going to fucking out-shit-talk me. You're just not, because I don't fucking care. I once told a guy that I was mad at to go upstairs and run himself a bath and jump in with a toaster, and that was just because I thought he stole my girlfriend at the time's wallet. And I meant that shit.
That's not very nice.
I told another guy to go deep throat a shotgun one time. Meant it.
That doesn't surprise me.
I like to help people, but I'm also not quite a people person.
Maybe you should work in a cubicle in a basement away from people.
Do I get my own baseball bat for the rats? Or do I have to call for the exterminator? Because if I could take care of it myself, it'd be like way better.
Oh, call the Ninja Turtles.
What the fuck? Why?
Probably related.
All they're going to say is, Sensei, come home.
Yeah.
Splinter, what are you doing?
So,
what are you doing?
See? There you go.
You know there's no fucking cheese here, and this guy clearly does not want to learn anything from you.
Nope.
I'm not going to take my karate lessons from a rat. The fuck are you thinking?
How's karate going, by the way?
Oh, it's so good. I'm the only student, technically.
Awesome. And it's some dude in his basement who's all hot and sweaty and like showing you the moves. There are air quotes on that.
This is starting to sound like a gay porn.
Well.
Shoryuken! How you fellas doing?
Which hand wax on and which hand wax off?
Depends.
Well, I'm a righty, so.
Real good. That's the one then.
So
unless you're looking for a different sensation.
Right. Well, it's me and my sensei, and then my daughter's former sensei from her beginner class. Mm-hmm. He's working on his black belt from his brown belt. So he's there. So I got like two people showing me shit. And I can bounce ideas off the one that used to be her teacher because he still gives me tips for helping her so she can continue. So I'm using that so I'll never again have to be a male victim.
Well, good.
If the beast comes at me, she is fucking going down hard.
Karate chop to the carotid.
Oh, not even that.
No, come on.
She punches overhand. I got a few moves for that. Before I would just try to grab her arm. Oh no, you're going down, beast. And you're going down in ways you did not realize because normally I would hold back. Now, you better not swing on me till after that fucking kid pops out or you might end up with a goddamn Jackie Chan of the uterus. And it'll be self-defense because it's my brain is trained to do it like a machine. I'm really doing everybody involved a favor anyway.
Oh, Lord.
But they won't think I'm a pussy for being victimized then. They'll think, this fucking guy just committed feticide.
And is going to jail.
You want to make an omelet, you got to crack some eggs.
Oh, God.
Or a placental sack. Giggity.
Anyway.
So let's say hypothetically you beat up your kid's dad. You guys had a fight. He pushed you to the edge. You hit him. Would you expect him to call the cops on you?
What did I hit him with?
Your fists.
Oh, probably not. He'd probably just hold me down.
Oh.
I'm not exactly tough.
Okay, well, good to know, I guess.
That's probably what would happen.
Know your opponent's weaknesses and exploit them.
That's right.
These are the way of the kata.
That's why I have guns.
Yeah. That's comforting.
You're welcome.
I'm sure a lot of chicks think that they can get away with that shit. And as I've said, why women push buttons so far these days is they think that the law is going to mainly favor them. Unfortunately, it mostly does. The law is going to protect them. You can do whatever you want, and if he lays a finger on you, even in self-defense, you think the cop's not going to fucking believe him.
Yep.
And sometimes you get these psycho bitches that say, well, how about I hit myself with this, and then I'll tell the cops you did it. That's a quote from the Beast once.
Up. Seriously.
She said that she would hit herself in the head with the back side of this hatchet and say that I did it.
Was she off her meds then, too?
I don't know, probably.
That's unfortunate.
That was the night I found out that she had been communicating with Loverboy. I didn't find out that she had fucked him for a few days because the truth kept morphing.
So it's originally, and I know this isn't exactly on topic. Well, it kind of is, actually. Originally, she says that she just woke up naked And he said they had had sex.
Well, she had underwear on, but yes.
Oh.
But just underwear.
Okay.
Tots a flowing, but no exposed clitorati.
Is that like a Maserati or?
I don't know. It's okay. You don't have to worry. She doesn't have like a beastly blown out fucking big Montana beef curtain pussy. It's just her asshole that looks like a food item. Awesome Blossom. Outback Steakhouse.
Oh my God.
The beast's
Bunghole.
Oh. I will never eat one of those again. You realize that, right? Ever.
Does it make you feel any better if I tell you that Loverboy's licked her butthole before?
No.
Does she sound like the kind of bulldogging-ass broad you want to perform analingus on? I mean, come on. Common sense, gentlemen.
I don't want to perform analingus on anybody.
Not
At
even
all.
For like $1 million?
Well, maybe.
Well,
for $1 million.
Boy, the second I brought
Did you
money
wash
into
it
the
first?
equation.
I'm on it.
It's $1 million in cash that you can just have and walk out the door.
Yep.
It's a different
I'm doing
version
it.
of the movie Indecent Proposal. It's, hey, Woody from Cheers, I'm going to give Demi Moore $1 million, and she's going to lick my Robert Redford beehole. Blah, 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 blah.
I'd totally do it.
I'm not going to lie, I might do it. For $1 million, I might lick Robert Redford's asshole.
You probably would.
I don't know how I'd
It's $1
explain
million
the cash.
bucks.
It is $1 million. Which these days doesn't sound like a lot, but really it is. If it's cash and tax-free.
Yeah, exactly.
You just hide it, like in a coffee can or coffee
under your
cans.
mattress.
Who
Or
fucking hides money under a mattress? What
the
am
same people that put it in a coffee can. 90-year-old men.
I was going to say bury it in the yard.
Same difference.
The only people that
So I
hide
had
money in
a-
a mattress are old Mexican women.
Nah, that's not true. I had a patient who actually was never married, lived with her sister. And in her 90s, her sister had passed away.
Oh, no. Sophia
And-
died?
Yeah, kind of. It was kind of one of those situations.
And Blanche.
Yeah, exactly.
And Dorothy.
So, stop.
Thank you for being a
kick
friend. Go on.
I'm gonna domestically assault you.
We're not in a significant sexual relationship. We're friends. So since we don't have children in common or a romantic link, it wouldn't be domestic assault. It would just be an assault.
Okay, well, I'm gonna assault you.
Fact for the day.
I did not know that, but thank you for sharing.
Yep.
Anyway, so this adorable little old lady, when she was then put in the place where I worked, her family went back to clean up the house to sell it, and they found hundreds of thousands of dollars stashed away in random places throughout the entire house.
Interesting.
Yeah. Under mattresses, inside grates for airflow,
What the
in
fuck?
closets, you name it, there was money stashed away places.
Huh.
Several hundred thousands of dollars.
I got to get me some of that. I got to find me an old lady with no one to leave it to and just be like, look, I'm just going to level with you. I need this, and I know what you need, and you're going to die soon, but I'm still going to be alive, so I could be happy, and then you could die happy. And look, I'm just going to spit on it, and then we're going to see if we can't put these together. You know, just lay back. We'll go to the lawyer and change the will tomorrow, all right?
You honestly think that you're worth it?
Old ladies don't get a lot of offers, all right?
That's not true.
Old ladies get tons of offers.
Good Lord, yes.
Besides from dirty old men.
No, dirty old men are dirty old men. Doesn't matter. They're still getting offers.
I don't think
And
of a
they're
lot of
still
guys
getting
have
laid.
like
Even at that age. I've seen it many, many times.
grandma complex.
Many times.
So she
Knock,
bakes
knock,
some
knock,
cookies.
walk in and, oh, okay, I'll come back later.
Hi.
Yeah.
Much younger dude.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not very often.
My grandma baked me cookies today.
Did she?
She did. They were my favorite.
What does that have to do with me sticking my 33-year-old Penois inside of an 85-year-old dying woman?
You talked about baking cookies. I heard you say something.
Well, I was
about
going to say
baking
she bakes him
cookies.
some cookies. He vacuums wearing just a Speedo. She gives him a gummer. Next thing you know, they're changing the will. She croaks, and he's in Cancun having a gay old time. Not gay sex, I mean happy. Because gay means happy.
Right.
Which is why they're such a fun people to be around.
Can we get back to my cookies, though? They were delicious.
Technically, we're supposed to be talking about my cookies getting kicked by
The beast.
and domestic assault. So my cookies trump your cookies.
No. My cookies were delicious. There's still some left. I didn't bring you any. I'm sorry.
Bitch.
I know.
Who fucking talks to a guy who's addicted to food about
Molasses.
sweet?
And they were super moist and just
It's not doing anything to me.
chewy. Oh, so good.
I'd rather have a strawberry rhubarb pie.
I don't have any strawberry rhubarb pie.
Oh, then you're of no use to me.
That's all right. So back to you being kicked.
In the balls.
Oh, she kicked you in the balls?
Yeah. The
Well,
third
that
kick
sucks.
landed squaw in the testicles.
Ow.
Nah, I've been kicked in the balls by her before.
Are you trying to tell me it didn't hurt?
It really didn't hurt.
Really?
It wasn't
Then you
a strong
don't
kick.
have real balls or something.
You get kicked in the balls enough times, you know how to just turn your leg enough so that it was a graze. Many
Well,
times she's
you
attempted
didn't
and I
say it
trapped
was
her foot.
You didn't say it was a graze. You said she kicked you
Well, I didn't put
square in the balls.
I didn't put my hands behind my head and say, "Do it! Fucking do it!" Like I was trying to impress people at a bar and she gives me a Pele right to the baby maker. It wasn't like that. She didn't give me a straight up Cobra Kai kick to the nuts. Kaya! Oh. So, yeah, I mean, I would like to, I know this is all over the board with this episode, but if you're a guy and you hear this and your old lady is a cunt, like mine was, do not be afraid to get involved with the authorities. That's what they're there for. They might laugh at you, but it might be your opportunity to say to a cop, hey, are you going to do your job or are you going to be an insensitive asshole? Because I bet you your patrol sergeant wouldn't like me complaining about your demeanor right now.
I bet they wouldn't like you using profanity and talking down to them either.
Well, maybe they should realize that that badge is just a fucking name tag pinned to their shirt. And that uniform comes right off. It's not a second skin.
It does. I've seen it.
It doesn't fucking make you special. You're a human being. I'm a human being. You just choose to work in a shitty industry where you get to have dominion over people. And that's why I don't do that, because I don't have a God complex where I need to save everybody. And then fucking have a bad attitude about a job they picked. It's not like there's a fucking career lottery. And they're like, oh, sorry, I know you wanted to be a carpenter, but you drew cop. So here's your gun, here's your badge, get out there. No more working on a wood lathe or sanding floors for you, fucker. Get out there and enforce the law. Barney strolls in to Mayberry PD and says, Andy, I need my bullet. Give me the bullet, I think I might need it today. I'm surprised he never used it on himself. Because I'm sure that he was in an abusive relationship and he didn't want to have to admit that he was a man being beaten by a woman. And
Although it's generally the other way around when it's police and their spouses.
Yeah.
Highest rate of domestic violence.
Can't imagine why.
Mm-hmm.
Highest divorce rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also very high on the drug use, too.
No.
Second behind nurses.
Well,
Sadly.
yeah, you guys have all those fun pills just laying around.
Yep. I always carry them in my back pocket.
I don't even know what this one is, but it's colorful and I want to try it. All right, Doxapine, here's a handful of you. Oh.
I'd probably take something else if I were going to do that, but whatever.
I haven't had to pass meds for a while, working day shift, so I don't remember what Doxapine does. To keep you docile.
I have no idea.
Well, what the fuck kind of nurse are you?
I know, right?
Jesus Christ.
I have Google,
That
drugs.com, a drug handbook.
Drugs.com's useful.
It's awesome. If you ever find pills in your kid's possession and you don't know what they are, you can look them up on that.
There's a pill identifier.
There is, and it's pretty sweet.
So if you had a boyfriend, spouse, he beats the shit out of you, do you get the authorities involved?
Absolutely.
See
Right
how
after
fast
I kick
she
his
said
ass.
that? Right. And then they're going to say, well, she was just defending herself.
That's exactly right.
But if we were together and you started kicking the shit out of me, and I did anything other than push you away and cry for help, oh God, it's like you just cracked the seal on the Ark of the Covenant, because everybody's faces will melt with disbelief that you struck a female. I gotta say, ladies, I don't care how bad this sounds, some of you deserve to get punched in the mouth for the way that you test men. What else would you like to mention on this topic that we kind of tackled but also went all over the place?
But no, honestly, I think if more men did start to report it, I think we would see a decrease in it and maybe people taking it a little more seriously.
I just think that if we stop worrying about our egos, and like in my situation, there's children involved, think long view, think end game. You could hit her back and that might feel nice in the moment, or you could hit her back in a way that really counts and send her to the pokey. And then she's on probation. And then CPS is paying attention. And every time she comes near you, all you got to say is, well, it was just like that time she assaulted me. Here's the case number. Look it up. Men need to take a stronger stance. Destigmatizing male victimization as being something where you're a pussy, where you're less of a man for reporting it. You don't plan on getting beat up. So get out there. Get involved with a lawyer. Get involved with law enforcement. Don't take that shit. Don't worry about what other people fucking think. You got to worry about you. You do you. Let her do every other chick in the cell block to earn some extra canteen because you're not going to put any money on her books because she hit you. And if a woman sexually assaults you, fucking say something because it's time to put the onus on her. She did it to you. Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That's at What Do We Call It? You can find the show's Facebook page at facebook.com/groups/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann.
And I'm Ashley.
And that's the end.